Hey there. So, excuse the hair. I just took a bath. Um, so it's a little bit crazy. Today, I would like to talk about a mental health emergency kit. And basically, what that is whenever you're in a time of crisis or intense stress, or you have the urge to do self destructive behavior, whatever it may be, you have a backup. And that backup is something, objects that you compile together. Um, yeah, you compile them together in one space, maybe like a box or a backpack or a bag or whatever you want to do. And those things are things that help you stay mindful, help you stay grounded. And yeah, so I will show you mine and I'll explain as I go. So, my mental health emergency kit is my backpack. And in the first pocket, we have some little fidget things. I don't really have any technical fidget stuff, but I found this in my drawer and it's like a cool textured part of a old notebook. I have a hacky sack, kind of like a stress ball. Have a phone charger just in case I'm somewhere and my phone's dying. I also have this little note. And what the note is things I can do if I want to relapse. So, ice in hands, rubber band on wrist, tear paper, origami, dance to music, scream into pillow, surround yourself with people, and nap. And it has contacts of people I can call and some other little reminders. Then on the other side, it's a music playlist of songs I can listen to when I'm feeling down. And most of that music is very positive and upbeat. Then I have in my second pocket here a little stuffed animal because it's soft and it's comforting, and also I can heat it up in the microwave and it has little things in it that makes it like a heating pad as well. So it's kind of both. Then I have some comfort socks and yeah, self-explanatory. I have some markers and crayons because in my first pocket I have some coloring books to calm me down. I also have some DBT sheets of when I was in DBT. DBT is dialectical behavior therapy, and a lot of people with borderline personality take it. And also anyone with just like impulse control problems or like uh, intense mood swings or suicide ideation or self harm problems. A lot of those things for me are gone, and part of that is because of DBT. Well, they're not gone per se, just reduced significantly. And yeah, in this, all of the sections are core mindfulness and chain analysis. Um, I'm not doing this in order, but that's okay. Interpersonal effectiveness skills. Um, Emotion regulation, and this is also a list to help describe parts of emotions. So you can be like, oh, I know what I'm feeling now. And distress tolerance. And I suggest that anyone who is going through a real tough time find a DBT group therapy in your town because it is really, really good. And it would help you a lot. I also have crochet because I like the repetitive behavior and it calms me down and puts me in a little bit different of a mindset. And I also have some poetry books because I love poetry and it just makes me so happy and it makes me feel like I'm not alone. And then, last but not least, I have a book that I rip and tear and scribble and do whatever I want. I also do Sharpie poetry in here. I'll give you an example so that you know what I'm talking about. So basically, I color out the words I don't want, and I feature the words that I do want, and I make a poem. And this poem is, "The scratches make confusion. He was a confused man. He wanted to feel real. Real scary, weird, and sinking. He feels colors but does not see them. Instead, he sees sorrow, crying, and withering. I thought it was brilliant." Yeah, so I like doing that because it uses my brain to think, like, what words can I use, and, stuff like that. And then it also makes something pretty, and it's not destructive. Also, on one of my zippers attached is a piece of string. And this is actually a mindfulness thing in the way that you use it, which I'll explain in a second. But I actually learned it. I got the idea from a YouTuber. I've been watching lots of YouTube videos to inspire me about things like this so that I can cope better with my life. Obviously, I have a therapist too, but YouTube is the way to go. So basically, what you do is you tie knots in the string for about 2 minutes, and you just focus on that. You focus on tying knots in the string. And then for another 2 minutes, you untie them. And I wouldn't tie them very tight, because then if you don't have long fingertips like me, you will not be able to get it out. So don't do that. And yeah, there's that. I don't think there's anything in this pocket. Oh, yes, there's one more pocket. I have another pocket of special mementos to me. This card was given to me when I was in the mental hospital, and I'll read it to you. My mom wrote it to me. She sent me letters and stuff every day. It was really sweet of her. March 16th, 2018. Hello, sweetie. Just a little note to say that I love you. I love everything about you. I love your smile, sparkling, wide, and gorgeous. I love your hair, or lack thereof, because I shaved my head bald the night before. I love your style, artsy, beatnik, and abstract. I love your eyes, shining, laughing, and beautiful. You are my beautiful daughter, and I'm so grateful to be your mom. I love you. Love, Mom. And I just smile every time I read that, because it reminds me who I am, and it reminds me I'm loved. And so it lifts my mood. And then there's another letter. I didn't get that one in the hospital, though. It's just a letter from my cousin. What is this? Oh, here's a picture of my family. This was me last year in October. I had blue-green hair, that's me. Yeah, so that picture reminds me that I'm not alone, and that I have family, and that they love me. And then I have this, and I work at a place with people who have disabilities, and we decided to draw each other at one point, me and one of my clients, and this is me, if you can see that. The little pink dots are my fingernails, and all of those little lines are my fingers, and then the bottom 10 lines are my toes. And then he asked me to draw the lips for him because he didn't know how, and there's my hair, and it makes me so happy. Every time I see it, it's just yeah, things are good. And then also, this album from one of my favorite bands called Trophy Eyes, and I saw them at Warped Tour, and I bought one of their albums on CD, and they all signed it for me, and I took a picture with them, and it was just, it was so amazing. So this reminds me of the good times, and that music is powerful, and that I can use it to help me. And then I have a bunch of quotes that I wrote right after I got out of the hospital, because quotes are very powerful and they can lift your mood. I'll read you a few. When the acceptance of butterflies outweighs the fear of devastation, then the hands of love have the power to heal. When we focus on gratitude, disappointment leaves and love rushes in. Let's see. It is not overreacting to ask for what you want and need. Every day I will make progress, even small, in the well-being of myself and the world. That one wouldn't really make sense if you heard it. When you focus on the good gets better. Always be a first-rate version of yourself instead of a second-rate version of somebody else. And I also have a few quotes memorized just because I've read them so much and I love them. One of them is, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. And that has helped me so much in a ton of aspects of my life, not being afraid to actually act on something that I want to do. And another one is, any feeling I feel is okay for me to feel, as long as I manage my emotions and I don't let them manage me. I think that one is very important because sometimes we attach stigmas to our emotions and we say, oh, this emotion is bad, I'm not supposed to feel it, like it's too intense. So you try to get rid of it. But in all honesty, emotions are just interpretations of the world around us and our situations and trying to figure out what's going on. And so it's not a bad thing, it's just information, and you have to decide what you want to do with it. And it's not bad, it's not good, it's just there. And you have to learn to accept it, and that is very important. Yeah, and then I also have herbal tea in here and stuff, to calm me down. So yeah, if you want to make a mental health emergency kit, I strongly suggest you do, because it is great, and you can decide what you want to put in your box or backpack or whatever, but I can take this thing with me, and if I'm feeling a little bit iffy, I can just bang, whip it out and, distract myself, do something meaningful, and eventually your feelings will pass, and you'll feel better. So, yeah, that's it.